Namo Buddhaya, Namo Amitabha. Hello everyone. So last month on the 16th of December, also the 4th day of the 11th lunar month, it was Master Yinguang's parinirvana and rebirth day. So today I also feel like sharing the story of Master Yinguang, the 13th patriarch of Chinese Pure Land Buddhism, and also how he was officially recognized as the incarnation of Bodisatva Mahastamaprapte in our world. So Bodisatva Mahastamaprapte, or Dašidži in Chinese, which literally means the arrival of great strength. And she is one of the main assistants to Amitaba Bude in the Western Pure Land of Ultimate Bliss. So I'll first share Master Yinguang's life story and why people believe that he is the incarnation of Bodisatva Mahastamaprapte from the Pure Land. The Great Master was born in 1862 in Šansi Heyang County to a Zhao family. His parents were very well respected because of their moral character and virtues. When the Master was born, 6 months after he was born, he had a serious eye disease, which he nearly lost his eyesight. Although later he recovered from the disease, but his eyesight was already impaired, and he could not really look at something for too long. When he was young, he studied Confucianism with his brother, and even followed Han Yu and Ouyang Xiu to slander the Dharma. So Han Yu and Ouyang Xiu, they were famous authors, poets in the Tang and Song dynasty, and they wrote articles to slander the Buddha Dharma. Interestingly, later in their lives, they also all took belief in the Buddha Dharma and repented of their sins in slandering the Dharma. So Patriarch Yinguang at that time was very young, and he read their articles and also echoed with them and slandered the Dharma. After slandering the Dharma, he felt seriously ill. And during his years of illness, he realized how ignorant he was. And he knew that that was really the result, the immediate karma because of him slandering the Dharma. So he repented his sins sincerely and also studied the sutras. He understood that the Buddha Dharma's wisdom is extremely profound, and it is not so easy for ordinary people to understand. And after that, he took firm belief in the Buddha Dharma. So you may ask, if he is Bodisatva Mahastamaprapte who comes back, why would he slander the Dharma? So when the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas come back to help, they will act like ordinary beings. They will not just come back here and be perfect in all ways. If that was the case, then people would think, oh, this person is too perfect. We cannot really learn from him. But when Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they come back to help, they will just act like ordinary beings. If you make mistakes, they make mistakes. If you commit evil, they commit the same evil. And then after you see how they change, how they transformed, and you may be quite curious, oh, what happened to this person? And then that's when you wanted to maybe learn from them. So even when Buddhas and Bodhisattvas come back to help, they may not act like perfect. They will just act like ordinary beings and make the same mistakes and even commit the same evil as us. So we can feel more relatable to them, and then later they will transform and then show us the way. So after Master Yinguang realized that he should not have slandered the Dharma, he repented sincerely and began to study the sutras, and after that his illness was cured. At the age of 21, he went to the Lotus Cave Temple in Mount Zhongnanshan, and there he took the monastic life. But this was later found out by his brother. His brother was extremely furious and demanded him to go back and told him, our mother is now very sick. Even if you want to take the monastic life, you should at least go home and bid farewell to her. And he listened to his brother, but when he returned, he found out that his mother was not sick at all, and his brother restricted him from going out. while he was at home, he pretended that he did not want to be a monk anymore, so his brother would not be so strict with him. But deep down, he was determined to be a monk. And one day, when his brother went out, he caught the opportunity and returned to the temple. Venerable Daochun from that temple told him to go to a faraway temple, so his brother could not find him. And then he went to the Lotus Temple in Hubei, another province, and served all kinds of work there. And one day, he happened to encounter Longshu's Pure Land text. So Wang Longshu is a famous Pure Land Buddhist, a lay Buddhist in the Southern Song dynasty, and he wrote the Pure Land text and single-mindedly practicing and propagating the Pure Land Dharma, and he attained rebirth by standing. So I'll share his rebirth case soon. And Master Jinguang was very impressed by this text and also very inspired. He understood the basics of the Pure Land Dharma and believed that this is the best Dharma gate that's most suitable for all beings. Reading this text deepened Master Jinguang's faith in the Pure Land Dharma. Whenever his eyes hurt, he would kneel for and pray to Amitaba Bude to help him. When everybody slept, he would wake up and kneel for. He felt that when he knelt for, his eyes would not hurt so much. And later, his eye disease was completely cured. And because of this, he had profound faith that the merit of Nianfo was indeed inconceivable. At the age of 26, he went to the Compassionate and Blessings Temple in Mount Hongluo, as that was a temple which focused on the Pure Land Dharma. And that was also the temple where the 12th Patriarch, Master Che Wu, lived and propagated the Pure Land Dharma. Apart from Nianfo, Master Jinguang also read and studied the Mahayana Sutras. At the age of 33, he was invited to live in the Dharma Rain Temple in Mount Putuo. So Mount Putuo is the Bodhi Manda for Bodhisattva Guanyin in China. And when he lived there, he was responsible for the Sutra Hall. And he would always kneel for and immerse himself deeply in the Dragon Tripitaka, so the Chinese Buddhist canon. And due to his diligent cultivation, he was deeply respected by others. And many people invited him to expound the Amitabha Sutra. So after expounding the sutra, he entered into a solitary Nianfo retreat for a total of 6 years. And he even wrote the word death in his room to remind himself that impermanence can happen in any moment and one should cultivate Nianfo diligently. So he diligently Nianfo and eventually attained Nianfo Samadhi. So for over 30 years, he did not really associate with anybody, nor did he want any people to know his name. At the age of 52, a lay Buddhist published a few of Master Jinguang's articles on a newspaper, a Buddhist newspaper in Shanghai. Although nobody knew who wrote these articles, as the sign name was often repentant, a name that Master Jinguang would use for himself. The principles and wisdom revealed in the articles were enough to inspire those who read them to give rise to faith in the Pure Land Dharma, to Nianfo, and to vow to attain rebirth in the Pure Land. And later, a few lay Buddhists gathered more of Master Jinguang's articles and published them under the title called The Great Master Jinguang's Collected Writings. And after that, Master Jinguang's name was known by many, and his writings were deemed as the mini Tripitaka, as all his words came from the sutras. And due to his clear explanations, many people could understand the Dharma much more easily. And later, many people knew about Master Jinguang, and many visited or write letters to him, and he would reply with patience. Under the guidance of Master Jinguang, many people took the 3 refuges, practiced Nianfo diligently, and followed a vegetarian diet, and countless people attained rebirth in the Pure Land. Master Jinguang lived a simple life, thrifty and selfless. When he received offerings from his disciples, if they were gifts, he would immediately give them to others or to the temple. If it was money, he would use it to print sutras and dharma books. Later, he even set up a publisher called Honghua Publisher. So this publisher still exists till today. And they publish countless of sutras and dharma books. So he printed no less than 4 to 5 million books to distribute freely to people from all walks of life. And he also printed over 1 million of Buddha's images to distribute freely to people. In the year 1940, Master Jinguang displayed slight illness. To say display, this is really Bodhisattva's performance to show us impermanence, right? Because Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have a Dharma body, so they take on this physical body and just to show us impermanence and also to teach us. So Master Jinguang displayed slight illness, and knowing his time of rebirth much in advance, he handed everything to the next abode, Venerable Miaozhen, and he gathered his disciples in the evening and told them that for the Pure Land Dharma, there is nothing difficult. As long as you have sincere faith and vow to be born in the Pure Land, then you will all be received by Amitaba, and you will be reborn with your karma in the Pure Land. So we'll bring our karma to the Pure Land, but when we are in the Pure Land, Amitaba Buddha will also help us to eradicate all our evil karma, and we can realize enlightenment easily and much quicker in the Pure Land. This is indeed real. The following day at 1:30 a.m., he sat up on his bed and said, if one nianfo, one can definitely see the Buddha and attain rebirth in the West. Then he began to nianfo loudly, and at 2:15 a.m., he stood up and washed his hands and said, now Amitaba Buddha has come to receive me. I will go with the Buddha to the Pure Land. Upon finished speaking, he sat up upright on a chair with his lips moving slightly to nianfo. And at 3 a.m., Venerable Miaozhen came in. Master Jinguang told Venerable Miaozhen that you need to take good care of the Bodhimanda, that's the monastery, and you need to spread the Pure Land Dharma and not learn from arrogant people. And upon finishing speaking, he said no more and only nianfo with his lips slightly moving. And at 5 a.m., he entered deep meditative concentration with a smile on his face, and he attained rebirth at the age of 80 years old. They kept his body for 100 days and then had the cremation ceremony. And after the cremation, there were hundreds of red leaf beads of 5 colors were found. There were also red leaf flowers and blood red leaves, totaling of 1,000 red leaves. So why sometimes there would be red leaves? So red leaves were obtained really due to the practitioners observing the pure precepts, meditative concentration, and his wisdom. And this is really the result of his merit. And the disciples enshrined the master's red leaves in the Red Leaves Pagoda in the Lingyan mountain. So because of Master Jinguang's diligent cultivation, his realization of nianfo samadhi, and his great contribution in propagating the Pure Land Dharma, particularly through his writings, he is regarded as the 13th patriarch of Chinese Pure Land Buddhism by later people. So we haven't talked about why people believe that Master Jinguang is the incarnation of Bodisatva Mahastamaprapta. So there was an 18-year-old high school student called Yang Xingfang in Shanghai, and at that time she was not a Buddhist, and she had a good friend called Zhang Xiaojuan. So on the 23rd of November 1936, Yang stayed at Zhang's house, and on that evening she had a dream. She saw Bodhisattva Guanyin standing on an island, and maybe Mount Putuo, and she was on a small boat, and the boat was floating towards the island, and she saw Bodhisattva Guanyin was adorned with all kinds of jewels and also had a vase on her hand and with the willow in the vase, just like how she was portrayed in a lot of paintings in our world. And Bodhisattva Guanyin waved at her and said, Bodisatva Dašidži is now teaching in Shanghai. How can you be so deluded? Why don't you go to Shanghai and listen to him expounding the Dharma? And Guan Yin added, Master Jinguang is Bodisatva Dašidži, and after 4 years he will finish his teaching there. Upon finishing speaking, Guan Yin disappeared. And the next day when she woke up, she told the dream to Zhang's mother. So the mother was a devout Buddhist. And she asked, is there a bodhisattva called Dašidži? And is there a monk called Master Jinguang? And Zhang said, Dašidži is one of the 3 sages from the Western Pure Land. And Master Jinguang, I heard that he is an enlightened master from Mount Puto. And Yang asked the mother, is Master Jinguang in Shanghai? And the next day they saw in the newspaper that Master Jinguang had indeed been invited to Shanghai to host a Dharma assembly. So they all went to see Master Jinguang and took the 3 refuges under Master Jinguang. And Yang even told Master Jinguang about her dream. And Master Jinguang said to her, never ever say such a thing. I'm just an ordinary being. So when Buddhas and Bodhisattvas came back to help, they would not reveal their identities. Other people may say or speculate about it, but they will not reveal it. So Master Jinguang told her to never to say such a thing, and he is just an ordinary being. But after 4 years, Master Jinguang indeed entered Parinirvana, attained rebirth in the Pure Land, exactly like what Guan Yin told the girl in her dream. Not only Yang had a dream about Master Jinguang, but another female disciple of Master Jinguang called Zhang Ruzhao. She also saw Master Jinguang in a dream with his golden body in a great hall after his rebirth. And she asked the master, are you Bodisatva Dašidži? And the master admitted and said yes, and told her to spread the Pure Land Dharma, and he will come to receive her at the time of her rebirth. And many disciples also saw Master Jinguang came to receive them, together with Amitaba and Guan Yin at the time of their rebirth. So Master Jinguang is really the incarnation of Bodisatva Mahastamaprapta, Dašidži Pusa in our world. There is no doubt about that. Also, Master Jinguang included the chapter of Bodisatva Dašidži's realization on Nianfo Samadhi, chapter 5 from the Suragama Sutra, to be one of the 5 Pure Land Sutras in Chinese Pure Land Buddhism, and he often taught people how to Nianfo according to Bodisatva Dašidži. So I would also like to share a writing from Master Jinguang. This is one of his renowned letter, and it really provides a great guidelines for Nianfo practitioners for how we should conduct in our daily life. Whether at home or becoming a monk, one shall respect the elders and live harmoniously with others. One shall bear what others can't stand and do what others can't, to help others and be in accord with others. When one sits silently, one shall reflect on one's mistakes and not gossip about the right and wrong of others. Whether one is walking, sitting and sleeping, dressing and eating, from dawn to dusk and dusk to dawn, one shall always Nianfo uninterruptedly, either in a low voice or silently. Apart from Nianfo, do not give rise to other thoughts. If delusional thoughts arise, one shall eliminate them instantly. One shall often give rise to the heart of repentance and be ashamed. Even with true cultivation, one shall feel that one's practice is shallow and never boast. One shall only mind one's own business and not the business of others. One shall only look at the good in others instead of their shortcomings. One shall perceive all the people as bodhisattvas and only myself as an ordinary being. If one can practice according to what I say, one can definitely attain rebirth in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss.